Lara, how was the trip? Don't you want to rest?
No, I'm fine, relatively. But I'd like to discuss something with you, alone.
Later, all right? Did you have any time to read that file?
Of course. Just out of curiosity, you're here... why?
Well, no good deed goes unpunished. Your friend Yimnez insisted that we help you.
2 heads are better than, and so on.
It's always good to see you, Diego. But you... when I was leaving, you were managing our budget at Interpol, not our cases.
Lara, I didn't usurp you as boss of the department. You were just gone, so I stepped in and took over. Is it necessarily such a bad thing for us to help each other?
No, of course not. All help is welcome.
Excellent. Pictures that came in after the report, I've prepared in the projector.
Wow.
This is the church on Mission Street, where those structural engineers from Argo went missing and blood was found. And most importantly, that painting.
Someone painted a few smears in blood?
You could say that. We're talking about this.
Jesus Christ.
Is that blood? Is this thing really painted in human blood?
Sure, you did read the report, didn't you?
Of course I did. It's just taken me by surprise. I know there was an enclosed analysis of 3 blood samples.
Non, oui, c'est bon, 3. Oui, il y en avait 3. Hein.
By the way, has it occurred to someone to call Argo?
I've spoken with them.
Great, Lara. Good work. So let's discuss that analysis.
Where do we start?
The painting? Or are we leaving that for...
Last. First, we'll look at what went on there. That way we can better understand how and why it was made.
As you said, you're the boss here.
All right. First, let's develop our own hypothesis about what really happened in there. Now, I'll tag the evidence in those pictures that could be useful to us.
Oula. Direct.
Good. The projector remote has a laser pointer. That will be useful. This is used to control the projector.
D'accord. Et ensuite... J'ai l'impression d'être dans une présentation orale. Alors, j'ai pris ça. Qu'est-ce que je fais maintenant?
Cold, strict, and unyielding. She does everything she can for the department, but she'd probably like to see anyone else except me at its head. Diego tries to look encouraging, but I know him too well for that. He's more nervous than me. Kotu is really enjoying this case. He's sensed the opportunity to show off before Renier, so he works like hell. We installed the projector only a month ago. I've not even tested it properly yet. A while ago, I posted a memo discussing how meetings should be as effective as possible. I suspect that no one has actually read it.
Bien.
This should be teamwork, so I should consult with the others, but I have to find a way to highlight the important points. I was the one who made them buy that board, and I was also the only one who used it. It obviously didn't change even when I was away. 4 months ago, someone adjusted these sensors. Since then, we've had 2 false alarms. Has anyone started to do anything about it yet?
Ok. Donc, est-ce que je peux pointer des trucs?
Something in that painting is familiar to me, but where did I see it?
Well, I suppose that you've seen hundreds of paintings in your work.
No, not like that. This is different.
D'accord, il est là. Je suis curieuse. Juste. Est-ce que c'est pas un machin que Max aurait dessiné? Parce que je sais qu'il a dessiné des trucs pas très... Non. Alors...
I can turn on the laser pointer by turning the end of the remote. So what will help us to find out what did happen in here?
Je ne sais pas. Est-ce qu'on peut voir les autres images? Ah. Ok. Je sais pas, ça? Ça? Je sais rien. D'accord. Ça.
The blood, the overthrown chair. We probably agree that there's some story behind it.
I looked at it too, but what do you want to find there?
It seems that one of the victims was sitting at the table and then either overthrew the culprit or hit him on the back with the chair, knocking them down.
Exactly, and that blood smear is perhaps from dragging the person off the chair. There is no blood around. The chair stayed as it fell. I suppose that the victim was not defending himself after the fall, possibly even dead beforehand.
Shouldn't there be more blood?
Very good question. Maybe the wound was covered by something. Bleeding into the clothing?
No, maybe you're not seeing this clearly, but there are some tiny spots on the table. I think it's blood too.
And that means...
Il a été poignardé par derrière. Non. Blessé au cœur. Je suppose.
In my opinion, the victim received a heart injury. I find it the most probable explanation.
What?
Listen, I think it does make sense. Let's say that the victim was shot in the heart. The blood would spurt once or twice from the wound. That could be on the table, then the heart stopped beating.
So it would make the blood stop circulating and the bleeding would stop almost immediately.
Yes. If we could analyze that blood, we might be able to point out more accurately the place of the hit.
Don't you want to take this to pathology?
These things are well known. Non-oxygenated blood is dark. Oxygenated is light. That's how you know which ventricle it comes from.
D'accord. Donc, pour celle-là, c'est bon. Ah, qu'est-ce que c'est compliqué. Trouvez pas ça compliqué, vous? J'ai l'impression d'être dans un vrai meeting, là. Ensuite...
And what about that helmet?
The victim could have worn it on his head, and when falling to the floor, the helmet fell and spinned off.
I can't imagine that. I think that it probably stayed on his head lying on the floor.
Of course, that's more likely.
Or the victim wasn't wearing it at all, and it fell off the table. I think we can't come to any conclusion about that.
Ils sont bizarres, ces dessins. Des anges. Une Bible. Ouais. Encore un truc de fanatique religieux. Encore du sang ici.
There's a lot of blood here. The perpetrator left the victim to lie here for a long period of time.
Yeah, seems like it.
But you said yourself that if the heart stopped beating quickly, the blood would stop flowing.
No, I didn't say that. The blood stopped circulating, but of course it keeps on flowing, slowly from higher to lower parts. Let's sum up. We know the probable cause of death of one of the victims, hit in the heart.
But wounded by what?
Could have been a shot.
Non. Non, il y aurait eu plus de sang.
I didn't notice anything indicating a shooting, and there's nothing in the report. Diego?
I don't find it probable. If there was a shot to the heart, the chair elbow might be damaged too.
Not necessarily. If the culprit was shooting from an angle, the bullet could get caught by the vertebrae, spine. But I'd put the shooting aside for now.
So the murderer stabbed the victim in the heart. Why would he do that? To get some blood for painting? He'd have to have something to keep it in.
Of course he had. But if he wanted mainly the blood, he would more likely cut an artery. This seems rather ritualistic.
Ritual or not, what about those other two? Were they only onlookers? That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe they weren't actually conscious.
You're thinking about that gas from the report? Laura, did you get that?
On n'a pas parlé de gaz, si. Pour moi... Attends, on a parlé de gaz dans le rapport? Ah, je peux pas lire le rapport. Pour moi, il n'y avait pas de gaz dans le rapport.
Jean is talking about the gas, but he's wrong. The report clearly says that it's non-toxic, and so they couldn't have been poisoned by it, and it would have poisoned the suspect too.
Okay, was the FBI interested in something else besides that painting?
They want to know if the crime could have some religious motive.
So we should search through those photos and try to find evidence either supporting or controverting that hypothesis.
Let's have a look at it.
Ouais, je pense que c'est clair, hein. Il y a Holy Bible, hein.
If I'm not mistaken, this open book is a Bible, definitely a crucial sign.
And how do you know that it hadn't been lying there before the crime? You think that the offender left it there?
Do you see that blood? It seems that it's even under the Bible. It's obvious that the Bible fell on the floor after the blood was already there.
You're probably right.
Ok. On avait aussi des anges. C'est hyper compliqué, je jure que c'est hyper compliqué. Est-ce que je dois cliquer là-dessus? Des anges. Un ange ici.
That painting is fascinating, but we're looking for something else now.
Ah ouais?
That paint...
Mhm.
That paint... That paint... That paint... That paint...
D'accord. Peut-être que je dois aller sur le close-up. Ah ouais. Regardez, un ange.
This figure has wings.
Sure, quite clearly visible ones.
Tu l'as aussi.
More wings.
An angel?
Most likely. And here,
No need to comment on what is obvious. A third pair of wings, and that fourth figure has them too.
As I said, angels. 4 different angels.
Ouais.
Lara, why are you looking like that?
these are not 4 different angels. I can see that now. These are angels from 4 different paintings with an Annunciation theme. Not one painting, but part of 4 different ones.
Are you sure? How do you know?
Max painted a copy of one of them. That's why it was familiar to me. I can remember the other 2 now. I've seen them before in other paintings, and the last one won't be an exception.
Annunciation. So the angel, that's probably Gabriel.
Archangel Gabriel? The guardian angel?
According to recent interpretations, but according to the Old Testament, this is the Archangel Gabriel, the angel of death.
That doesn't sound good. At least not for those missing engineers.
No, it doesn't. Max dreamed of him often. But that was before the...
Lara, if you want, we can take a break.
No need, thanks. I was just thinking. So, let's sum up. We have that painting consisting of parts of 4 other paintings with religious themes, and the culprit used a Bible after the crime. Maybe it's part of it. In my opinion, this is quite clear evidence that religion figures significantly in this.
Excellent, Lara. Really good work.
Can we get on with the important work, or should we just congratulate ourselves?
Ok.
That painting. It's really strange, isn't it? Have you noticed that there are more detailed areas? Some touches are quite thin and precise.
And why is it strange that he painted some stuff in detail?
You have to look more closely. I'll show you.
Ah ouais, je vais te montrer. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? D'accord. Il a peint avec ça.
Jean, do you see that brush? That thick and rough brush? Would you use it for this painting?
Even more the composition. Added to that an amazing visual memory.
Whoever painted this was pretty talented and experienced. It definitely was not their first painting.
But there's still something strange about it. Besides the fact that some madman painted it, with human blood.
There's something about the painting, isn't there? I can feel it too. Let's try to find it.
D'accord, donc j'ai une idée. Il aurait fait une partie avec le pinceau et une partie avec ses mains alors. On les voit là. Là. Non?
Those handprints. Strange, aren't they?
That's it. Those handprints. There was nothing in the report about fingerprints, so he had to be wearing gloves. But the main point...
Why was he so particular about the painting and was still
Huh?
destroying it by
Moi, j'ai
handprints
rien
at the same
compris.
time?
Mes
Good
déductions
question.
n'avaient
I
rien à
suppose
voir.
you have some hypothesis of your own.
Euh... Fait exprès. Je sais rien.
I know that this might sound weird, but I think that he left those prints there on purpose. Do you see how pronounced they are? I think he soaked a hand in blood for every one of them.
It's pretty crazy, but I have to agree with you on this. Andy was holding a brush in one hand. If he didn't do it on purpose, there wouldn't be prints of both palms.
So we found out a few things. Do you have any other ideas?
Maybe the placing of that painting. It could be significant somehow.
You think? I think he found a piece of blank wall and painted it there.
I think it's too complicated. I'll show you something in those pictures.
Alors, l'emplacement des peintures. Là, on n'en voit pas. Là, pas trop. À mon avis, c'est là-dessus. Il y a plein d'empreintes de main là aussi, non? Ouais. Il a peint sur les briques au lieu de peindre sur le ciment.
Do you see this place? Completely smooth plastering. This alcove is clearly suitable for some painting, and he paints just next to it, on a cobbly brick wall.
Can you see any purpose in it?
I'm almost sure, and what's more, I might be wrong, but I recall 2 of those paintings. Those angels are not turned like this.
And you mean by it?
I mean that the place where he created the painting might have some purpose, but the placing of each part might have some purpose too. The FBI will surely be interested. Jean, put together the paintings with the Annunciation theme, and then we'll see what comes of it.
Jimenez, help him. Lara and I have to discuss something. Great. We finally have some time to talk. Lara, Diego has told me about your letter of resignation. Are you really sure you want to do that?
Oula. Le personnage va prendre une décision clé maintenant. Ces moments définissent les attitudes du personnage principal, ce que croit le personnage. Bien que le résultat ne soit pas nécessairement évident au moment de leur réalisation, certains d'entre eux peuvent changer l'avenir du personnage de façon significative. Super. Du coup, je réfléchis à ce que je vais lui répondre. Parce que ça a l'air, avec le battement de cœur qu'on entend en fond, on dirait un truc qui serait timé ou quoi. Je crois que je vais pas lui donner. Au fond, elle sait qu'elle a pas envie d'arrêter. Elle aime bien ça. C'est juste parce qu'elle est déprimée, mais peut-être... Non, on va pas lui donner, comme ça on va pouvoir travailler sur l'enquête. Et l'enquête avait l'air d'être en lien avec les visions de Max, donc on va pas lui donner.
I should wait before quitting. Even more so because of that strange case. But is there any point in going on? The memories of Max will haunt me forever here.
Non, je vais continuer.
No, I've thought better of it. For now, if nothing more, I want to see this case solved.
It's the right decision, really. You know, we two won't ever be the best of friends. Your methods are a little unorthodox too often for my taste.
But they bring results.
Yes, and because we have no better person for your position, you should continue to lead here.
You won't find anyone with whom you'll be comfortable. We both know why.
As you're speaking openly, so will I, Lara. I wrested independency for this department, and now I'm spending all my time just trying to get it some decent funding. I should be the boss here.
None of us has everything we want.
You're right.
Sympa. « 81%. Pour pouvoir parler avec Renier, j'ai décidé de retirer mon préavis. Il avait l'intention de donner ma démission. Et quoi, il y a des choses que j'ai mal fait alors? Ça veut dire quoi, ça? Je m'en vais. Mais... C'est là-dedans, ça? Ouais. Moi, j'ai peut-être fait un résultat d'argent. Je sais pas, ça clignote rouge. Enfin bon, soit. Je crois que je me suis bien débrouillée, mais c'était vraiment la merde. Chaque fois, j'ai deviné des trucs. Et c'était correct, apparemment, mais la justification réelle n'avait rien à voir avec ça. Bon, bah... rien de nouveau là-dedans. Une affaire étrange à San Francisco. Les détails me contraignent à penser de nouveau à Max. Dans l'un des fragments de cette peinture, j'ai clairement reconnu l'annonciation de Bekatomi. Une peinture que Max a autrefois copiée. C'est comme si tout ce qui est autour de moi conspirait pour jeter du sel sur mes blessures. Pourquoi est-ce que même la chance est contre moi? Que faire? Si ce n'est pas une coïncidence due au hasard. Ah. Eh bien, je vais sauvegarder. Et on continuera la partie tout à l'heure. Je vois que ils nous attendent dans notre bureau. Donc à bientôt.